Today, we're diving into a truly landmark Supreme Court ruling from India, and this is a big one. It connects menstrual health directly to the fundamental right to dignity and the right to education. Honestly, this decision could change everything for millions of students.
And this is the powerful question the court itself actually asked. It just cuts right to the heart of the issue, doesn't it? It perfectly frames the impossible choice that so many students were facing day in and day out.
So what is this impossible choice, really? To get why this ruling is such a big deal, we first have to understand the problem it's trying to solve. At the heart of it all is something called menstrual poverty. Now, this isn't just about not being able to afford sanitary products. It's way bigger than that. It's about not having access to clean, safe toilets or running water, or even a private place to manage your period. All of this creates a massive, direct barrier to just showing up for school.
And the consequences? Well, they're severe. We're talking about students being forced to miss school, sometimes for days every single month. They might resort to unsafe and unhygienic practices, and on top of all that, they have to endure this constant stigma and humiliation. The court saw this for what it is, not just an inconvenience, but a deep violation of their well-being and their right to control their own bodies.
And this is where the court's thinking gets really interesting. They said dignity isn't some vague philosophical idea. No. It has to be tangible. It has to be real. And by not providing basic hygiene facilities, schools were actively denying students this very real, very tangible form of dignity.
Okay, so with the problem clearly laid out, let's get into the solution, the court's absolutely groundbreaking declaration. This is where the whole legal foundation for change was built. Now, what the court did here was so powerful. They didn't invent a new law from scratch. Instead, they did something bigger. They expanded the meaning of Article 21, which is one of the most important rights in the entire Indian Constitution. They declared that the right to life and dignity must include the right to menstrual health. This just rockets the issue to the highest possible legal level.
And it's worth taking a second to see how this all got started. This whole legal battle was kicked off by a petition from Dr. Jaya Thakur, an advocate who basically put this systemic failure right in front of the court. It just goes to show you how one person's action can truly spark nationwide change.
So here's the crucial part. The court didn't just make a statement and call it a day. Oh no. It laid down the law with a series of specific, practical, and completely non-negotiable orders for every single school in the country. And their approach was super practical, broken down into 3 clear steps. Step 1, the absolute basics, functional, separate toilets. Step 2, the supplies, free and easy-to-get sanitary napkins. And Step 3, a safety net, these dedicated MHM corners for any emergencies. And they got incredibly specific, leaving zero room for excuses or interpretation. This applies to all schools, government, private, doesn't matter. They even specified the type of napkins, that vending machines are the way to go for distribution, and exactly what these emergency corners need to have, like spare uniforms and innerwear. They thought of everything. This quote from the ruling, it just says it all. The court is explicitly stating that a student's right to dignity and autonomy over their own body is more important than any excuse about a lack of resources. The responsibility, they said, is on the institution, not the individual. But, and this is so important, this ruling goes way beyond just physical infrastructure. The court recognized that new toilets and vending machines are only half the battle. To really fix the problem, you also have to dismantle the culture of shame and stigma. So, the ruling tackles this culture head on. On one side, you have the problem, humiliation, taboo, and a hostile environment. On the other, the solution, education. The court specifically called for educating male teachers and students on the biological reality of menstruation. This isn't just about stopping harassment. It's about proactively creating a supportive and informed school environment for everyone. Okay, so you're probably thinking, that's great, but can't schools just ignore all this? Well, the short answer is absolutely not. The court made sure this ruling has some serious teeth by tying it directly to the Right to Education Act. Yeah, there are real consequences here. For government schools, the state itself is on the hook. And for private schools, noncompliance could lead to them losing their official recognition, basically being shut down. These are not suggestions. They are enforceable legal standards. All right, let's pull all this together. When you step back and look at the big picture, why does this ruling matter so much? Why is it such a game changer?
It really boils down to this one single powerful shift. This ruling completely reframes menstrual health. It's no longer just a hygiene issue. It's not a women's issue. It is now, by law, a fundamental human right, inseparable from dignity and education.
So to sum it all up, this decision smashes a huge barrier that was holding students back. It legally protects their privacy and autonomy, it demands change in both buildings and in beliefs, and it sets a clear, enforceable standard for what dignity must look like in every single school. It creates this powerful legal standard that could honestly inspire change across the globe. The legal precedent has been set, and it's been set in the strongest possible terms. So the new challenge and the question we're all left with is about implementation. What will it take from communities, from governments, from all of us to turn this powerful judgment into a lived reality for every single student out there?